Yeah, I mean, we need to see a police service that serves and protects everyone, but our current police service over polices and underprotects Black and ethnic minority communities. And unfortunately, this police action plan is not going to do anything to help rectify those problems. It doesn't go anywhere near far enough. We've got systemic racism within the police service, and we need institutional solutions to this institutional racism. But unfortunately, this plan doesn't provide that.
So, how much of a problem is it at the moment, would you say?
I mean, this plan has come out on the same day that we've heard yet another deeply distressing story of a young girl being strip searched. And at the moment, we know that in London, at least 75% of all children strip searched by the Metropolitan Police are children of colour. This is far too high. And we're also talking about a police service that between 2015 and 2020 received 7,800 complaints about racist conduct, and yet there were only 118 of those complaints that resulted in formal action. So we're seeing a police service that is being repeatedly um, accused of racism, but simultaneously a police service that seems unwilling to act on that.
So, what would you say is missing from the plan, or like how would you, what could be done to make it better?
That's a really good question. I think they need to go back to the drawing board completely. We need better public consultation throughout the action plan to ensure that the public are being consulted very clearly on the proposed measures it has within it. But we also are seeing some glaring omissions in the plan towards issues which Black and ethnic minority people are being disproportionately policed on. So if you look at custody, for example, we know that Black and ethnic minority people are more likely to die in custody than their white counterparts. If we look at COVID policing, we know that Black and ethnic minority people were more likely to be fined for breaching COVID lockdowns than their white counterparts. All of this is things that have been omitted from the plan. And on top of this, we still have no acknowledgement of systemic racism within the police force. That's a beginning, a really, really basic starting point that we need to reach before we can have any broader discussion of how to counter racism within the police.
So, coming off what you just said, what do you think the outcome will be now?
I think that we can see the outcome already, and that is Black and ethnic minority people across the UK saying that this plan isn't good enough, they haven't been listened to again, and that they're losing patience as well. It's been 20 years since Stephen Lawrence was murdered, and the Macpherson report said that racism was institutional within the Met Police Service. And yet, here we are 20 years later, and we're still not seeing any real action on these measures. People are getting very, very frustrated and disheartened. And it's no surprise that trust within the police service on part of Black and Caribbean communities has gone down 20% as a result of